What if the verses that trouble you most aren't meant to destroy your faith, but to transform it? Some people stop reading here. Others discover the greatest truth hidden beneath the hardest pages.
The more I read, the more questions I have.
The Flood. A story that has shaken readers for generations.
How could a loving God allow this?
Questions are not the enemy of faith, but they can become dangerous when they remain unanswered.
Then came another passage, one even harder to understand.
Why would God ask such a thing? If I cannot understand these passages, how can I trust the rest? Many abandon the journey at this moment. You carry questions heavier than your pack. The more I read, the harder it becomes to believe. Or perhaps, the closer you are to understanding. Never build your view of God from one verse alone. Let the whole story speak. Some passages reveal God's mercy immediately. Others reveal it only after patience. Consider the suffering of the righteous. Why would God allow someone faithful to suffer so deeply? Scripture does not ignore suffering. It teaches us to trust God, even when every answer is hidden. Then I found words that frightened me even more.
These were not words of celebration, but the anguished cries of people who had witnessed unimaginable tragedy.
Context changes everything. A cry of pain is not always a command to imitate. Perhaps I've been reading isolated verses instead of the whole story. Every page of Scripture must be understood in light of God's character and His unfolding plan. Then maybe the problem was never the Scriptures, but rather in how we were reading them. Perhaps it was reading them without their full story. Now let us examine a passage that reveals both God's holiness and His mercy. The next story would challenge not only what he believed. Some passages are difficult because they reveal the holiness of God. One account has troubled readers for centuries. Why was the judgment so severe? It was necessary to restore balance. The issue was not generosity. It was deliberate deception before God and the community. So this story reveals God's holiness, not His cruelty. God is perfectly loving and perfectly holy. His justice and His mercy are never separated. The scattered pieces were beginning to form one story. The Bible is not a collection of disconnected stories. It is one unfolding story of redemption.
Justice, mercy, sacrifice, suffering, every thread pointed toward God's greater purpose.
When one passage confuses you, let the rest of Scripture help explain it.
My questions haven't disappeared, but my fear has.
Come, there is one final truth you must see. They were preparing him to see it more clearly. When Scripture is read one verse at a time, confusion can grow. When it's read as one story, hope begins to shine. Stories that once seemed disconnected were now woven into one greater purpose. Justice without mercy would leave no hope. Mercy without justice would leave no righteousness. In God, both meet perfectly.
I was searching for contradictions, but I found a story of redemption.
Every difficult passage invites us to dig deeper, not walk away.
Faith isn't pretending every answer is easy. It's trusting the one who knows them all.
Never fear the difficult pages. Let them lead you to the author. The questions remained, but they no longer ruled his heart. Understanding had replaced fear. From beginning to end, Scripture tells one story: a holy God making a way to redeem broken people.
The hardest passages didn't destroy my faith. They taught me to seek God's heart before my own conclusions.
Don't stop reading when Scripture becomes difficult. Pause, pray, seek wisdom. The deepest truths are often found beyond the hardest questions.